What is up, folks? It is I, Will, with Exposing WC. We're going to jump right into this whole Rhea Ripley thing. Okay, so Rhea Ripley just gave an interview with Rosenberg, and I'm fascinated by it. She talked about the booking of the Mania match with her, Io, and Bianca Belair. I've always wondered kind of how that went down. She didn't go deep into it. I'm just going to dive into it right now. Hope all's well. What's up? Let's play this video because I just listened to this just now. And now I am kind of like, I want to hear it again before I give my thoughts on what she said. Okay, let's listen to this together. Here's Rhea Ripley talking about the Mania match. Make sure the audio isn't too loud.
I don't want to get too far away from the Netflix thing. Now, one thing I did notice was they had that whiteboard with all the WrestleMania matches planned out, and it was you and Bianca one-on-one.
It was
WrestleMania on that whiteboard. When you found out that Io was going to be added to the match, was it more excitement or was it more disappointment? Like, which one did you feel when you found out that that little wrinkle was going to be thrown into it?
So I'm quite glad that WWE Unreal has dropped because now I feel like I can talk freely about some stuff.
That's actually interesting right there. She feels like she can talk more about booking, more about behind the scenes now that Unreal has dropped. So we may be getting more candid conversations from talent about what's happening behind the scenes, creative, and all that good stuff. But just keep it going.
But Hannah pulled me aside before my match with Io, and he's like, "What do you think about it potentially being a triple threat?"
Hunter pulled her aside before her match and said, "Hey, how you feel about this?" Now, do I think this is her having creative control? No. I think Triple H is very collaborative. He wants to hear how his talent feels, especially his top talent. Do I think he asked Bianca about this? Probably not. But I don't know for a fact. But Rhea Ripley's the champion. She said, "Hey, Rhea Ripley, I feel about this how you feel about this being a triple threat match?" Because I believe that he knows that her dream or her match is one-on-one Bianca Belair. At this point, I think it's clear. She made it clear. Bianca made it clear. I think he knows when he asks her, "Hey, Rhea Ripley, who do you want to face?" She probably said Bianca Belair. I think it's known backstage, clearly, that the match is her and Bianca Belair. That's what they're going for, which is why it was on the board, right? That's why it was on the board to begin with.
And if it doesn't end up being a triple threat, we're both going to get the slack because Io got pushed out of it.
What's up,
and they're
brother?
just going to be hating on both of us like Io deserves to be in it. I talked to Hannah and he asked...
So his thought process was, okay, wait, was that his thought process or hers? Let me go back, listen to that.
I'm glad that WWE Unreal has dropped because now I feel like I can talk
I think I
freely
missed
about
that.
some stuff. But Hannah pulled me aside before my match with Io, and he's like, "What do you think about it potentially being a triple threat?"
Okay.
And if it doesn't end up being a triple threat, we're both going to get the slack because Io got pushed out of it. And they're just going to be hating on both of us like Io deserves to be in it.
Okay. So was it even like a for sure thing? He says if it's not a triple threat, so this is probably after Io beats her, he's saying if it's not a triple threat, well then Io Sky will be the sympathetic figure and you two will be the bad people for pushing her out, so there's no issue for her with the fan reaction. It's all on us for being the bad guys, me, Bianca Belair, pushing her out. So it wasn't even like a for sure 100% thing that, oh yeah, it's a triple threat match. Even if Io won, is what I'm saying. Even if Io won, it was not a for sure thing, it'd be a triple threat. Interesting.
I talked to Hannah and he asked me how I felt about losing to Io that night. And I was like, I've never beaten her, so it makes sense. And if it gets her into the match that you guys are obviously building as a triple threat match, so it makes sense, then put her over me. Like,
that was weird. Was that an edit or was that just a fuck up with the audio? What was that?
Be in it. I talked to Hannah and he asked me how I felt about losing to Io that night. And I was like, I've never beaten her, so it makes sense. And if it gets her into the match that you guys are obviously building as a triple threat match, so it makes sense.
What was that? It's so weird.
If it gets her into the match that you guys are obviously building as a triple threat match, so if it gets her into the match that you guys are obviously building.
If it gets her into the Mania match, I'm trying to read her lips.
If it gets her into the
Mania match,
that you guys are obviously building as a triple threat match.
It's weird. It's a weird audio thing.
Then put her over me. Like, I don't mind dropping the title. I just want to have a good way to get back into the match so it can be a triple threat. Like, we really have to make sure that everything I do from here on out kind of makes sense as to why I will be in there, because otherwise I'm going to get completely shit on now instead of Io.
That's a really good point.
Okay, it's interesting that that she is concerned about that, right? She's thinking about, okay, want to make a triple threat? That's cool. That's fine. But make it make sense so that I'm not getting shitted on, okay? Because I'm going to be out of the picture here. It's going to be Bianca and Io Sky. That's the actual match. That's a fair matchup. Bianca Belair won the chamber. Io Sky beat me. So that's the match. So make it a triple threat. Cool, but make sure the storyline is good. That way, I'm not looking like an asshole trying to force myself in. I would argue storyline wasn't good. The storyline was shit. And she did come across as an asshole. But she's so over and popular, she got cheered anyway. And Bianca the one who got the shit. Right? So they were about Io at first. They were about Io's reaction. Right? How that was going to work. But okay, she's going to get in. She's going to get in a triple threat. Then they're worried about Rhea Ripley. No, she was. Like, what about how am I going to be perceived here? Because I'm going to be the third man out, forcing my way in. Well, I look like an asshole. And ultimately what happened, because she's so over, Bianca Belair got the shit for being in the right? And then Bianca Belair then had to lean in. So this whole entire booking, the storytelling was bullshit, right? Bianca Belair had to lean in to be in the heel because they're bad booking, and she got the short end of the stick because Bianca Belair was the only person saying, hey, why is this match happening? I mean, I won it fair and squared. I won the chamber. You lost. So why should she get in? Which makes logical sense. But she's going against what the crowd wants. The crowd wants a triple threat match. The crowd wants that match. We all do, right? Technically, we all want to see that match. So whoever says no to that match is the heel in the fans' eyes. Io Sky is the fighting champion. Yes, Bianca, Rhea Ripley, bring it on. Rhea Ripley wants to get into the match. Of course, the fans want that. Yes, make a triple threat. Bianca, Rhea, Io, that's an amazing match. Yeah, do that. And Bianca Belair is now the heel, which is not what creative wanted, but she's now the heel because she's saying, no, Rhea doesn't deserve it. No, fans, you don't get what you want. That's the heel role, right? Interesting.
Yeah, so it made it really hard. Like, of course, I want Io to be there. I want her to be a part of it. I think she deserves a WrestleMania match. So if you're going to build a triple threat, make it a triple threat.
Now,
She said it made it really hard. What was hard? I think she's talking about the booking and how she was like had to maneuver around it and what's happening online, because Rhea Ripley is very much online and she pays attention to that, and she got a lot of shit online, not in the arena. Fans loved her there, but online they said, hey, why is she in the match? Should be Bianca and Io now. Why is she being forced in? Yada yada, right? So she is saying it was hard. So she's saying it's hard. I think she's talking about creative, making it make sense, because to this day, I still say it makes no sense whatsoever. It made no sense. Her getting back in and making any sense. So it wasn't handled well. She did look like an asshole. And I think she's also talking about the fan reaction online.
by the way, though, in the end, it works out. Obviously, the match turned out.
Sure, the match was great.
I'm sure you now think, hindsight 2020, it all worked out.
It was 100% worth it.
And now, see, it worked out twice too. First of all, let me just say, honestly, I fully complained when it happened. Just to be honest, on the show, I complained. First of all, you probably won't remember this, but before, what happened that got us to Bianca? What did Bianca win? The chamber?
The chamber.
Let me pause this and look at some of the chat here. Doshi stands can get crazy. Scared of all the Doshi stands. Everyone thought it was Rhea Ripley versus Io earlier this year. That report, it was going to be Bianca or Rhea Ripley. Was kind of shocked of all things. Well, Bianca and Rhea Ripley is the match that Bianca and Rhea Ripley want, right? I think Triple H has been wanting to do Bianca Rhea Ripley at Mania for a long time. Yep, that is the in-game match. That is when Rhea Ripley main events Mania. When she main events Mania, it will be Bianca Belair. That's what I believe. Doshi stands are also very racist too. How do you feel about Naomi being cheered even when trash talking Rhea Ripley and Io? I think fans like heels, and Naomi is a hot heel right now, so she's gonna get cheered, like cheers and boos depending on what she says. If she shits on the crowd, of course they'll boo her, but she's fun. She's a fun heel, And then we see with Rhea Ripley, when she was a heel, fans like heels, especially ones that are entertaining. So yeah, you have to. That's why I would say if you want to be a heel, you have to actively be the heel. You can't just be a heel and be fun and cool and awesome, the awesome badass heel. You want to get booed, you have to chase the boo. You have to chase it. You have to actively be the heel, which a lot of people don't want to do, because a lot of people, whether they admit it or not, like getting cheered. Okay, so Naomi does a good job shutting it down all the time, right? You notice Naomi, when she's out there, the crowd starts supporting her, start cheering her, she says, shut up, be quiet. She shuts it down as much as she can. Because Naomi, you know she's fun and entertaining, she actively is being the heel 24/7. Io Sky is obsessed. Io is overhyped. I said obsessed. Io is overhyped. She's a Joshi, so the IWC obsessed over her. If I was hard to anyone, if it was hard to anyone, it was Bianca. I agree. She got booed. Yep. Keep in mind, Io Sky has botched, but no one says anything. I love Io Sky, so you're talking to the wrong person here, because it's one of my favorites. Io Sky is mid, while Asuka doesn't botch at all. Kyrie is the middest of all. In the one commercial segment, Naomi trash talk New York City, but then chanted her name after. I agree, Earth. Yeah, she's popular, so you have to actively try to get booed.
Yeah.
The night of the chamber, I overheard you having a conversation with the producer, and I walked in and I was like, oh, spoilers. And I knew at that point Bianca was winning.
Yeah.
And so in my
So Rhea Ripley knew the outcome before the match. So Rhea Ripley backstage at the chamber, knowing the result already, which is fine. It makes sense because after the match, Rhea Ripley confronted Bianca Belair. So to know what you're doing after the match, you probably need to know who you're gonna be facing off with, to know how to approach it. They probably told her, hey, Rhea Ripley, Bianca's gonna win, gonna face her, then Io will come out. So that makes sense.
my mind, I'm like, and I think you and I even joked about hair versus hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, hair versus hair, Bianca and Rhea would be
Burn it out.
it was incredible, right? And so
So at the chamber, it was Bianca Rhea Ripley set in stone. There was no Bianca Io at that point. There was no Io at that point. It was just Bianca versus Rhea Ripley at the chamber.
that's what I thought we were getting.
Yes.
And I was like,
In
they've
terms of
never
creative.
had their proper moment. Yay, that we're gonna get it. When Io came about, I was disappointed at first.
Yeah.
I will be the first to admit that I was wrong. Like, this turned out to be an absolute classic.
It was
And
awesome.
furthermore, if you had gone to you and Bianca having your moment, then it would have been too early. You guys still have time
It was way
to
too
get there.
early. Yeah, I feel like if you want to build to me and Bianca, it has to have a perfect build to Mania. Like, we can't be adding people into the build. It has to be us two absolutely feuding about whatever it is, but it has to make sense and build it to that Mania match.
I love hearing that. Injected to my veins. Rhea Ripley, she said this before, this is not new. Rhea Ripley believes when it comes to her and Bianca Belair, there needs to be a proper build that leads to Mania. Can't be inserting other people, can't be no Io, can't be no Naomi, can't be no Jade. It has to be her and Bianca, full on, top build feud, with all the spice in the juice in the sauce, okay, from creative. That's her goal. That's her vision for it. It makes sense. I agree. And if that match is going to happen, it needs a proper long build. Because I agree. If it happened one-on-one this past Mania, it would have felt really quick and rushed. So I think her and Triple H were on the same page here when it comes to pushing that match back. I'm glad she feels that way about it. That is the end game, I think, for Rhea Ripley. That is her Mania match. That's going to main event. It'll be Bianca Belair. I think the reason why the build was how it was Bianca Belair going with Rhea Ripley one-on-one in that feud, and that's really what the argument was. They're arguing with each other and pushing Io aside, because that is the actual in-game feud, right? Bianca and Rhea Ripley. That was not resolved whatsoever, right? They still hated each other at the point. They had the whole sequence in the match where he said, I work harder than you. She punching Rhea Ripley. I work harder than you. I work harder than you. That's never been resolved. Bianca got injured and she's been off, right? That is going to come back around, right? So they used Mania 41 to build towards Mania 42. I do believe Rhea Ripley will be facing Bianca Belair at Mania 42. And if it's up to Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, they will main event night 1.
Even though you and Io had a story that went back prior to that, now you guys truly have a thing. Like,
that's true.
You and Bianca are going to have a thing, but now you and Io, I think, are becoming one of sort of the marquee rivalries among the women. And I don't think we wouldn't have gotten there without this. So it all worked out.
Yeah, no, I agree. The whole story with Io leading back to the second Mae Young Classic, like sometimes that gets forgotten. But now we have so much of a story on the main roster as well that like you kind of can't forget about the past and what's happened. So it's like it's cool to see it escalate. And then with Bianca, we can really build from anywhere. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys, because to me, you guys are, you know, the faces of women's WWE, and there are lots of people that are, but in terms of the next generation of it, right? Like Becky and Bailey obviously are like built into it and have been that. But I think when we talk about where we're going in the future, you guys are so kind of Mount Rushmore in that conversation. We will eventually get there, and I hope you guys, you know, have a trilogy at WrestleMania, whatever it is. I mean, and I've said this many times, but you guys are also two of the most, you know, lovely human beings. I was going to ask you, in that locker room, who do you look around at and go,
Cook
like,
Rosenberg.
oh man, they're awesome?
That was correct. I agree with that. I think those two, they should be, that's the match. That is the match. If you want to have a Mania match for Rhea Ripley, I can't think of anyone else. Not Io, not Charlotte, not Becky, not Bailey, not nobody. When it comes to Rhea Ripley, certainly not Jade. When it comes to Rhea Ripley, her best bet, I want a Mania match, it has to be Bianca Belair. There's nobody else there that fits the bill for that. So yeah, is there anything else in here?
Like, it looks so easy for them. Not to say I wish I could be them, but I'm a little jealous of like just how they do their thing.
Man, that's a hard question. I feel like everyone in the locker room is so good at what they do, and like no one really puts over the stress like I feel like I do in front of people, because like I'm stressing 24/7.
You can't sell, Rhea. Doesn't everybody tell you this?
I can't help it. I try and find a hidden corner, but the cameras seem to find me wherever I go.
Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see.
And like she believes in everything that she does so much. Like I see her and I'm like, I know that you don't have a clue what's going on right now because I'm a part of it and no one has a clue. How are you so calm? So she's like one of the main ones from the females. And then when it comes to like the overall WWE Dom, like
we just talked
who's she talking about just now?
everything that she does. Like I swear they weren't filming that. I think like, oh man, Naya is one that like.
Not Jax? Okay, cool.
All
right, that's it. So yeah, that was good. That was great. I was very much wanting to hear some of the backstage about that because a lot of people wanted to see on Unreal that discussion about Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Io. We didn't get that. So we now know that, you know, what kind of the sequencing of events here, that they didn't really know. Io did not come a part of it until after the Chamber, right? Which is interesting. Because I believe the Chamber match that she lost, well, the Raw match that she lost at the Chamber was like right after the Chamber. Like, I think the next Raw it was. So, yeah, they're kind of like wheeling and dealing late in the game when it comes to Bianca, Io, and Rhea Ripley. It was good stuff. I like that. I want to see more of the behind the scenes talk about what happened. So now with Unreal coming out, maybe we'll get more of that stuff. All right. So how you guys feel about $30 a month? Looking forward to it? Guys, looking forward to paying for ESPN direct to consumer, DTC? Here's the thing when it comes to WWE ESPN relationship. If you don't want to pay it, you don't have to. There's things you can do. Okay, there's things you can do. What I'm going to be probably doing is using Netflix with a VPN. Because $30 a month to watch PLEs sounds pretty ridiculous. In fact, it is. I already get ESPN with YouTube TV, I hardly ever watch it. Honestly, I pay for YouTube TV and I don't really use it that much. Every once in a while, there's a live event. If it wasn't for live sports, I would not have anything. Me watching sports is what keeping me with having some type of service, whether it be YouTube TV or something like that. If it wasn't for live sports, I would not care. But actually, the live sports that I watch happen every so often. I'll put something on. Oh yeah, let me watch that. I don't watch live sports every day or even every week. It's like special events. So it's good to have YouTube TV there so I can just put it on. Oh yeah, something's happening or some kind of live event happening, some breaking news. Turn it on, right? But beyond that, I don't really watch YouTube TV that much, even though I have it. So the thought of paying $30 a month for ESPN and all the other goodies when I don't care about that stuff, really, kind of ridiculous. So no, I'm not paying for that. Under no circumstances am I paying for that. So it's probably going to be me with the Netflix and the VPN. VPNs are awesome. I would recommend everybody having one, no matter what. Even if you weren't going to use it for WWE, having a VPN is great. I use it every damn day. I'll never go without it. I had YouTube TV and only watch ESPN for football. Yeah, I rarely use ESPN TV unless it's for like some type of sporting event. Maybe there's a soccer game. Maybe U.S. national game is on. Maybe the NBA season's around. They got NBA playoffs. Maybe when the NFL season comes around, I put on football. But beyond that, if I wasn't a sports fan, would have cut the cord. Now getting a VPN. Yeah, VPN is great, man. I have ExpressVPN. It's great, awesome. If you got internet, you can get DC. Yes, true. Wait, what do you mean? If you got internet, you can get it for free. So there's talk about if you have a subscription to ESPN through some type of service, do you have access to it? The app. I'm not sure how that works yet because there's some people say you can use your YouTube TV login, but we don't know yet. We know you can do it for cable, for satellite, stuff like that. But for YouTube TV, it's not official. So we'll see. If that's the case, that's great. I'll just log into the app with my YouTube TV login. But I think they're still negotiating stuff, so we'll see. It should make sense, though. I mean, if I have ESPN on YouTube TV, why can't I watch the PLEs if I'm already paying for some form of the service through another provider? But we'll see how it works. I'm not convinced that I'll be able to do it because YouTube TV is kind of weird sometimes. It's kind of like on the outs. It never seemed to be in the in. It's always on the outs. Like the last thing that hasn't been incorporated, like DirecTV, your Spectrum, all that crap, seems to be working with all these other like providers. By providers, I mean ESPN, right? But when it comes to that, it's like YouTube TV, they're kind of still on the outs. Like I don't know why. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully they're talking to ESPN now, so we can get that sorted. I'm not sure. 30, I will probably get a week's worth of food from Taco Bell, maybe. Yeah, $30 is too much. Not for, unless you're like a diehard. Let's say you don't have YouTube TV at all. You don't have satellite, nothing like that. You want ESPN in their linear programming because with the $30, you get linear programming. So you get the ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, right? All their other channels that they own. You also get the NFL Network, all that stuff. So that's cool. You just want ESPN, but the problem is other sporting events. If you're a big sports fan, other sporting events come on Fox and NBC, TNT. So you're not gonna get all those stuff. So yeah, it's not gonna help. Do what you gotta do. That's my advice. Do what you gotta do. There are ways. Hell, I wouldn't even need to watch with my VPN. I can log into my VPN, go to Japan with my VPN, and watch Smackdown and Raw for free online. Because what's the name? How do you pronounce it? AMEBA, whatever it's called in Japan, where they host Raw and Smackdown. They have it there for free with the Japanese VPN. You just go to the website. It will recognize it as Japan. You can watch Raw and SmackDown right there. Matter of fact, let me see what happens if I did I even attempt to do this? Now it's Japanese commentary. Japanese commentary, but beyond that, it's just the show, right? There are ways. Not to mention all the illegal sites out there. I mean, there's ways, man. It's very, very easy. But the internet is very, very easy just to watch stuff for free. Not gonna lie, it's very easy. But I'll be canceling not YouTube TV, but I'll be canceling Peacock with the quickness. I'll use the Netflix and the VPN. I'll use Heatwave as a guinea pig show. I'll say, okay, let's say I did not watch. Let's say I don't have Peacock. Let's say I don't have it. How would I watch this PLE? And that's how I operated on that day when it dropped Heatwave, whenever that is. I think it's the 24th, right? 24th, the same day as Forbidden Door. I'll approach that viewing as if I did not have Peacock and see how easily I can watch it. Once I find out how to watch it very easily without Peacock, I'll cancel it right there. No women advertise for SmackDown. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I saw they talked about John Cena. They talked about Cody Rhodes. They talked about tag match, Motor City Machine Guns against Wyatt Six, right? No, not Wyatt Six. It's Solo's group. What are they calling them again? The family? I don't know. I don't remember what they're calling Solo's Always group. But yeah, is Brock Lesnar official for today? No, Cena will be there. Do we know for a fact that Brock gonna show up? I'm not sure. But yeah, they'll probably get a Tiffany Stratton segment of some sort. You'll get Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss on the show because they're tag team champions. Kind of funny, right? When it comes to women, Raw A-Champ is a very hot Naomi, whose heel run is very, very popular with the fans. Got Becky dropping bars on the mic, who's very, very popular and a great storyteller. Raw has Naomi and Becky firing on all cylinders. SmackDown is Julia, who I like, but doesn't cut any promos, right? And Tiffany, who more and more is Tiffany's interesting. That's what I'll say. I think her the way she's moving right now is very interesting, but she's nowhere close to Naomi and Becky in terms of interesting. So yeah, Tiffany and Julia is an interesting duo on SmackDown. SmackDown is very boring right now. It's very boring. It's not the best. So we'll see where it goes. It's in the trenches, yeah, when it comes to women. If you have ESPN or not, you still have to pay separately for WWE's PLEs, just like UFC. No, you don't. That's not true. You don't have to pay for the pay-per-view like UFC yet. If you have a service, whether that's Select or by the way, you can buy Select. So we've been dropping $30 the entire time. You don't have to pay $30 to watch it on ESPN. There is two different. Let me pull it up. ESPN DC. ESPN Select. There are two different options for you, two different pay options for you. ESPN DTC has linear programming. It has ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU. ESPN Select doesn't, but you have the other stuff. So you can watch PLEs with ESPN Select, which is like $12.99, I think. So even so, I should have led with that, by the way. I should have led with that. Even with the Select, you're not paying $30. So that's good to know. You can get ESPN Select and get the PLEs. See? I'm not bullshitting you. Let me pull it up here. Make it big. Here's a monthly subscription, unlimited, $30, right? $29.99. You get Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Unlimited bundle. Oh, that's the bundle. That's not bad, actually. Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Unlimited bundle, $39.99. That's not terrible. With ads, it's not the worst thing in the world. That gives you a lot of stuff for the family. Gives you ESPN, gives you Hulu and Disney Plus. That's a lot of stuff. Anyway, here it is. Select. $12.99. You get Disney Plus. Well, that's the bundle. But Select it gives you everything but the linear programming, I think. So you can watch PLEs with Select. Relatively short. But yeah, even so, it's only $12 to watch PLEs. I forgot to say that, by the way. My bad. So no, $30 is not required. You can watch it with here. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you can. Anyway. Is that official? I believe so. What I read, that's what I gathered from that. I mean, then things can change. This goes live at the end of the month. Things can change, but I'm pretty sure Select gives you the PLEs as well. The reason why it goes from $12.99 or $11.99 or whatever it is to $30 is because of linear programming in the actual channel. That's why it's like that. But I'm pretty sure. Let me see. ESPN Select. Let me look up ESPN Select. ESPN Select plan. I want to see like a real, actual, good breakdown of this. Where is ESPN? Once I find it, I'll show it. Direct to consumer, yada yada yada. Yeah, I don't see ESPN. Yeah. I saw it somewhere, but I can't find it anymore. Honestly, VPN is the easiest way to go. It is. You can watch everything on the same place. You can watch Raw, Smackdown, NXT, and the PLEs, all of them, with a VPN. All you need is Netflix and VPN. You can watch everything. As long as your internet is good and it's clear for you, that's probably the way to go. Honestly, I should have dropped Peacock a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't, but I probably should have a long time ago. It is way easier just to use a VPN with Netflix. And if you have a long HDMI cable like I do, I plug right from my laptop to my big screen, so I can just pull over the screen to the big screen right and watch like that. So it's perfect for me. A lot of people use their smart TVs with Netflix, and you can't use VPN that way. But if you have a HDMI cable that's long, connect to your laptop, connect it to the TV, and you're good. That's what I've been doing recently, and it's great. So look into that. So yeah, the whole $30 a month thing doesn't really bother me right now because there's ways. There's ways to get around it, I believe. So, oh yeah, illegal streaming is very easy. It's very easy, but some people don't want to do that. Some people don't want to go that route. They want to just have a simple way of putting on the TV and watch what you want. You don't want to have to go through weird sites to get stuff. You just want to like watch it on a legitimate place, you know? So I understand that process. I understand that thought process of just wanting to see it somewhere without like worrying about weird sites, stuff like that. But yeah, there are breaks in the prices, sure are, which is crazy. I'm dropping it soon. All right, enough of that. So yeah, I'm not really worried about ESPN and WWE. There's ways to watch what you want to watch. There's always a way. What's going on, folks? What do you guys want to talk about beyond that? I think we just need to wait and see how it all shakes out when it comes to cost. Because I think they're still trying to figure some stuff out. I got Comcast for Wrestle Universe on my TV. Wrestle Universe is awesome. Rhea Hogan, I think Bianca Belair might come back tonight. That's what people are saying. That's what was kind of reported. I'm not convinced. I'm not getting excited about it. I do think it's interesting that no women was mentioned at all during the breakdown of the show with Nick Aldis. No mention of any women. What does it mean? I don't know, but I do think something's going down with Tiffany tonight. Something. Think about it, folks. What is Tiffany's option right now? What are her options? Can't face Charlotte Flair. She's in a tag team with Alexa Bliss. Can't face Julia. She's the mid-card champ. You're not going to do Tiffany Chelsea Green. Nia Jackson feuding with Last Legend. I think Jade Cargill might be away from TV. I think she needs to be. Unless she turns heel in a very aggressive way tonight. The woman won the Queen of the Ring, beat Asuka, talked a big game, went to all the interviews, talked a big game about how I'm the one that can't control. What'd she say about Tiffany? She said Tiffany is the one they expect, something like that. I'm the one that can't control. Something weird like that. Something weird like that. She said all that, went out there, and lost in 7 minutes. Clean. Lost in 7 minutes clean. Her look is very bad right now. So she either needs to go away, just be gone, or come back as a heel and make a statement, because she looks bad right now. Again, I repeat, she lost clean in 7 minutes. Moonsault, 1, 2, 3, game over, right? So all that talk she said, she seems hollow and she looks weak right now. So I put her off TV. If not, she needs to crack some heads. She needs to beat up Tiffany tonight. If not, she needs to I think it looks bad for her right now. It's not a good look. Still can't believe a world title match, SummerSlam with 7 minutes. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Is she shooting a movie? That's the plan. She has a movie with the Majors. I think Charlemagne is also involved somehow. That's shooting in the fall. Production starts in the fall. So it depends on when in the fall. Now, October, November, I don't know, but she does have a movie to shoot. How long will the shoot be? Probably not that long. But she will be off TV for some time. So my question is, do they just have her lose at SummerSlam and be off TV like they've done with other superstars? They've done that with Sasha Banks plenty of times. Sasha Banks lose a big match, she'd be away for months, then come back. That's what I would do. Just have her go away. Because if she's not going to be looking strong tonight, make a statement, it's going to look very bad for her to be walking around losing in 7 minutes to Tiffany. Jade can wrestle 10 minutes or more. That's why it was short. She can. They just don't trust her to do it. Do I blame them? Not really, but she can. She just not what they trust her to do. I wouldn't trust her myself. Bianca is going to be world champion eventually, sure. Jade losing clean like that just made her look bad. I agree. Made Tiffany look even better. Didn't make her look any better. Beating Jade Cargill and having that on your resume that, hey, I beat Jade, I beat Charlotte, I beat Nia, I beat a bunch of big names. Hadn't beat Bianca Belair yet. By the way, the first person she looked in the eye when she's on the main roster, remember that? She said, I'm not afraid to step to the baddest woman in WWE. Slap Meechin, remember that? So Bianca Belair is still the person she hasn't beat yet. That's a logical match, but I don't know what's going on with Bianca Belair and her finger, unfortunately. So, but we'll see. Speaking of going away, or not that. Speaking of losing matches, Mercedes lost her match in Toni Storm, came back and didn't say shit. I really, really hate when big time characters lose big time matches and do not acknowledge the elephant in the room. You lost the big match and you're not going to address it. No promo, no nothing. She shows up, she walks past Renee, goes to the ring, sees Toni Storm, no interaction at all, really. She attacks Windsor, and Athena attacks Toni Storm, and that's kind of that. Like, no. You lost. You lost a big match at All In. You have to address it. But they're not even addressing it at all. She left, got more belts, came back with more championships. Is there any reflection? Is there any introspection? Is there anything? Any type of adversity? She lost the big one, went and got 2 more belts, came back with more championships. I guess it's all fine. I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it really wasn't that important. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Yeah. Weird. Is Tony Khan's booking? Why are you surprised? I don't know. Mercedes is delusional though, so it's kind of fits her character. Um, sure, but is that good storytelling? I would say no. Somebody with a big ego as Mercedes in kayfabe shouldn't even bring that up. Others should. Yeah, I'm not saying she needs to say, "Hey guys, I lost." I'm just saying, from a storytelling perspective, it was not satisfying that it was not addressed whatsoever. Maybe it will within the coming weeks. Maybe next week they'll say, "Hey, Mercedes Monet, don't forget you just lost. Okay, don't act all high and mighty. You just lost. So how good are you?" Somebody needs to say it. She doesn't have to, but somebody needs to make her address it. I'm not saying she needs to come out there and talk about it. I'm saying she needs to be forced to address it by somebody else. Someone must say, "Hey, girl." Now Renee tried to interview her. She said, "Hey, you lost at All In. How about how a good match?" That was weird. The conversation wasn't you lost. It was more about, "Hey, you guys had a great match. One of the greatest matches of all time." What you say? The greatest match of all time? Let me see where I have it ranked. So Renee said it was I'm saying Renee. Is that her name? Moxley's old lady. Okay, I keep forgetting. I'm bad with names. Yeah, Renee. I was crazy. She says it's the greatest women's match of all time. Let's see where it ranks this year for me. Let's see. You got Tam, Io, Bianca, Rhea Ripley, Jay Jordan. You see a couple Starlight Kid matches. I see Miyu versus Mizuki. I see Sol Kalani. I see Shuri, Saya, Tam. Let's see. Where's Mercedes Monet Tony? There it is. 21 this year. The greatest women's match of all time, for me, was 21st match of the year. This is very high, by the way. I've watched way too many damn women's matches this year, my people. Way too many of them. Way too much. 21 is very, very good. That's very, very good. I've watched countless, not to mention what's going on with the 5-star DP. Oh, so many damn matches to score. Okay, it's exhausting. I made a mistake, folks. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this again next year. I'm not sure. A lot of matches that I have to watch. But yeah, 21. That's very high, but 21, not 21 this year, let alone greatest match of all time. Anyway. Essentially, sorry, Adam. So essentially, Io was never supposed to win that title if Rhea said no. That's not true. I think it really just shows how WWE doesn't book Io as the top, as that top, even though she's great. I think you meant at the top. I got you. I think that it wasn't so much of a, "Hey, Rhea Ripley, what's your opinion? And if you don't agree, I'm gonna switch." When he says, "Hey, how you feel about losing the belt?" More about the discussion. If she says, "I don't really like it," he'll say, "Well, this is why." He's being transparent, talking it out. This is why I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea because XYZ. This is my thought process on it. What do you say? Not about, "Oh, you don't like it? Fine, we'll change it." It's more about, I'm going to talk to you about why I think this is a good idea. I'm going to give you my thought process and how it came to this conclusion. What do you think? Not so much of, "Hey, Rhea Ripley, make the call, lose or not." That's not what it was. It's more about just talking about it. If anything, the fact that he talked to Rhea Ripley about it showed you how he feels about Io Sky. He didn't pick anybody. He picked Io Sky to beat his girl on Raw and gave her a moment at Mania. So I don't think Rhea Ripley has creative control. It's more about a discussion thing. Because you said the same thing to Cena and CM Punk, like, hey, what's your thoughts about this? How you feel about it? Not really a, hey, book the show, Rhea Ripley. I don't think that's what's happening. But that's just me. I could be wrong. Kick out 3 power drivers in a row, killed the match for me. Which match? Which power driver? Talking about Tony Mercedes? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. I remember now. Tony Storm hit 3 code why am I blank on the name of the damn finisher? She hit 3 power drivers. Code 0, something like that. Hit 3 of them. Kicked out. Like Mayu. Tony Storm fought Mayu with Tani. She hit 3 straight power drivers. 3. Mayu kicked out. That's what they do these days, folks. Storm 0. That's what it was. Storm 0. Not Code 0. I'm losing it. Yeah, that happened. I don't love those type of booking. I always say the finisher should finish the match unless it's like a special case. I would prefer they just freaking counter the finisher. Counter it. Just counter it over and over again. Keep countering it. Just counter it. I don't like kicking out of finishers. I prefer just come up with a creative way to counter the finisher. Just counter it. That's what I was saying. I hate it. I hate those like 4 or 5 finishers in a match. No. Counter the finisher. That's more entertaining. It's more cool than to see somebody kick out of a finisher. Anyway, any other questions about anything? Let me see. I said earlier that I was not going to tweet unless they announced a draft. That was bullshit. Still tweeted recently. But not recently. I tweeted right after I said that. I want the draft. What a creep. What a creep. He made sure to touch the skin when he put his hand around her waist. These motherfuckers need to keep their hands to themselves when meeting these female wrestlers. I hope she tossed that cheese immediately after. I don't even want to watch the video. I'm not going to be creeped out, so I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to look at the comments. Yeah, these people in these damn meet and greets are wild. Anyway, that's Julia's thing. That was Julia's meet and greet. I heard Solo's getting called up soon. There's talk of her being liked backstage, which that doesn't surprise me. I think she will be pushed very, very hard. Probably get a Tiffany-like push. That's how I think they see her, like a Tiffany. I think she is going to be a big-time threat on the main roster and a big-time superstar for the WWE long-term. Big time, huge. Thoughts on anything that happened on Raw? Let's see. I liked that Seth Rollins stood tall. I liked the character work from Naomi. How she said she's gonna stick Stephanie's horns up her ass. That was great. I like that she called her Stephanie Velcro. I liked. What else I liked from that show? I did not like the Rhea Ripley Io Sky segment that much. I thought it was funny that Asuka was throwing shade towards Rhea Ripley. She clearly does not like Rhea Ripley. I think that's great. And I think that's leading to something. What? I'm not sure, but I think ultimately Asuka might turn on Io because in the program, when Io says, need to win that world championship again, Asuka says, we can help you. This is in Japanese though. So I look at the Japanese subtitles. Somebody put it together on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Twitter. And he said, we can help you. And he said, no, I'm good. That's fine. No, thank you. Then Rhea Ripley walked up and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you." Asuka said, "You can talk to your friend." I think Asuka does not like Rhea Ripley. I think it's possible we could see an Asuka Kyrie versus an Rhea Ripley Io. Do I love that tag match? In terms of a feud, no. But I do think that Asuka could turn on Io. It's possible. Io actively was saying, "Hey, we can help you cheat." Like, nah, I'm good. So Asuka is in the cheating mode these days. So I would not be surprised to turn heel. What else happened? What else happened on Raw? Let me look at the pictures of Raw. That'll help me figure out what happened. I liked Seth Rollins' promo. I liked the match at the end of the day, which was Seth versus LA Knight. That was good as well. I thought Raw was solid. Oh yeah, and Becky Lynch's promo with Nikki Bella was awesome. I thought that was well done. That's two women who are on the same page, who like each other, who are working with each other. Say, "Hey, can I bring up the John Cena thing?" Yeah, you can. It's scripted. It's good. It works well. They're on the same page. I'm looking forward to that feud more now that I saw that program. I think they're going to cook and really put their hearts into it. Will the match be great? Probably not. But I do think the feud will be good, and I like their commitment to it. Lyra Valkyria basically saying that, "Hey, hey, Bailey, I'm in the Bailey vortex. I got to get out of this thing, so leave me alone. Let me live my life. You live your life." Thought that was solid. Where's that going? I don't know. But it looked like Bailey was genuine. I thought they were doing a Bailey heel turn, but that's not the vibe I got. Bailey looked like she actually sad about it. She was actually upset that she screwed Lyra. So it won't be a full-on heel turn, I guess, because she looked like she genuinely upset about it. She looked upset. So maybe they're not doing a heel Bailey. That was interesting. But yeah, she said she wants to get out of the Bailey vortex. That's some IWC talk for sure. Ryder's been on IWC. Come to the Bailey vortex. I keep clicking on the same shit. Stop clicking on it, dude. It's not what you look for. It says Raw, but that's not what it is. Here we go. Lyra should go to Smackdown. Yo, I don't see why not. How the hell did Charlotte's bury? They didn't bury Roxanne and Raquel. They didn't do that at all. What are you talking about? Roxanne and Raquel are still on TV. They lost again, but they're still on TV. Wait, did they face each other on Raw? Did that match happen on Raw? I can't remember anymore. Did Charlotte and Alexa face Raquel and Roxanne on Raw? I think they did. That was a good match. They're not getting buried. Charlotte Flair and Alexa are over. They're big stars. Roxanne and Raquel losing that match does not hurt them one bit. They'll be on TV every week because of the Judgment Day storyline, and the Judgment Day is very popular with Triple H, so they'll be fine. It was great. There was a great visual here. Love that. What else happened on Raw? That was good. Naomi promo on Stephanie Becker in the crowd. Said, don't come down to Florida. Raise our rent. Stay up here. That was pretty funny. It's trash. Need to stay with the trash at. Naomi's hilarious. Here's Alexa and Charlotte Flair here. They had the match with Raquel and Roxanne. That was a good match, I thought. They're not being buried. They'll be fine. I do want a draft. We need a draft, folks. We need a draft. I hope they announce it tonight. No more. It needs to happen. We need to shake it up. We need to shake up the rosters here. I forgot about Dom's match with Dragon Lee. Dom is in a very good spot right now. Very possible he may win the AAA belt at that show in Mexico coming up here. We'll be live on YouTube. I'm looking forward to that match for sure. With that show. AAA is hot right now. They're sold out. They got to open up more seats. Well over 2020. I think 22,000 fans over, like more than that now, to open up the crowd, open up the seats. I think Triple H is hot. I think WWE did a good job with that. Dom popular down there. I think Triple H is cooking. Triple H is cooking right now. We'll see how far it goes. But Dom might be a double champion here soon. They had that Becky promo with Nikki that was good. We also had that segment backstage with I'm gonna say Bianca Belair. I miss Bianca, folks. We had a segment backstage with Becky and Natty. Now we're getting Becky versus Maxine next week. And Becky Lynch posted a very funny video in her Instagram of her getting prepared for Maxine, which was like taking a towel, doing this like she's working out, but really she's just laying down a towel to lay down. I thought it was great. That was funny. Becky's a great heel, man. I'm telling you. All the folks that told me for years that no, she's better as a face, you're out of your mind. Heel Becky is where it's at. That's where the money is. The money is in heel Becky. Good match between Seth and LA Knight, I thought. And Roman Reigns came out and they still stood tall, which I thought was strong and smart. You have to establish them as the big dogs now. So yeah, look at that visual of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had no problem putting over talent. They was hanging onto 2018. Becky is way better as a heel, I agree. Way better. Not even close. Face Becky doesn't work anymore. Not as much as it used to, because she's not the underdog anymore. She's now the establishment. She's been around the block. She's won many championships. She ain't the one that's being overlooked who had to fight back against the man. She is the man now. Literally, she is the man. The man ain't holding her down. So now you got to pivot. Now you're not the establishment. Now you need to be the heel, keeping the young talent down, like Lyra, like a Stephanie when that happens, like a Soruka when that happens. So I like Becky Lynch in her current position. I think it's great. And I don't need to see face Becky anytime soon. Natalya will be at Triple Mania. That's true. She's gonna be in a match. I love that for her. She's getting around because of her relationship with Triple H. She can now do more stuff, which is cool for her. And hopefully we'll see the low-key legend, Natty, on WWE TV. Right now we're getting Natalya. And Natty's going around wrestling and putting on these good matches. So maybe we'll see Natty soon on Raw. We'll see, though. We'll see. All right, I'm done talking. Any questions about anything? We've been at it for an hour. An hour flew by, folks. Flew right by. Anything about anything. Anything about anything. Any topic that I didn't talk about that I missed. This is funny, though. Why is the top not being shown? How do I adjust that? Let's see. This. Yeah, that works. Nope, not that far. Good enough. Screw it. I make it wide again. Screw it. Anyway, Meat Shannon B-Fab can be next for Julia and Kiana James. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Marvelous show from today. What show was that? Was that the one with Sheree taking on Sheree and Takami Aroha taking on Team 200 kilograms? That the show you're talking about? Did I bookmark that? Let me see. Can't remember if I bookmarked that. I don't think so. Oops. Do I dare go to Sheree page and get spoiled? Let's see. I get spoiled? Let's see. Sheree page. Marvelous. This is it right here? Is it Marvelous match? Yep, Marvelous. This is a banger. 4 fantastic wrestlers. Hashimoto, Sari, Yu, and Takami Oroha. Banger. Don't tell me the result. Is Asuka coming? Is Asuka costing Io the title? She might. I doubt it, but she might. I think it'll probably end with Naomi cheating. But Asuka showing up and screwing her is possible. Possible for sure. I'm gonna watch this whenever I can. I'm far behind right now with matches, so I get to it when I get to it. I don't know though. I don't know when I ever watch that. We'll see though. We'll see. I'm behind. Ministry of Dark took you long enough. What are you complaining about now? No offense, but I just expect it from you. Naomi about to have the same amount of title defenses as Io already. Yeah. I think Naomi's gonna have a legitimate run here. Not because she is more valued than Io, but because her character lends itself to have more fun with creative. Like I told you guys before, creative likes booking these type of characters like Naomi because they can have fun with those type of characters. They can have more, more stuff to do. They prefer booking heel characters anyway. So yeah, they're gonna let her have a longer run than the average babyface champion because it's more interesting to them. They like booking heels as champions. The babyface is about to chase, right? That's what they're excited about. The babyface chase. So the heel run or the heel reign and the babyface chase is what they like to book. Triple H is that kind of person. Triple threat coming for Paris? Incoming for Paris? Which one? What triple threat match you talking about? For the men or women? Triple threat. But what are you talking about? What triple threat match are you referring to? Yeah, hi, Ministry of Dark. You're appreciated here. Naomi, Stephanie, Io. Oh. That'd be funny. I don't think so, but they could do a weird, funky finish. Put Io in that match. It'd be kind of weird, but it's not out of the question. It's not crazy talk. I can see it. I don't think it'll happen, but I can see it. I can see them doing that, but I'd rather see for right now Io and Rhea Ripley out of the title picture. Give this to Stephanie. Give this to Naomi. Let them cook. We don't need to see Io or Rhea Ripley right now in the title picture. Let Stephanie and Naomi have their moment. It'll be the first title match in a while that did not have Io or Rhea Ripley. It was kind of refreshing, kind of cool to see a title match without them. Let Naomi and Stephanie cook on their own. All I can do is laugh. What do you mean? Oh yeah, I forgot about Miniature Dark. He thinks Naomi stinks. So he thinks Naomi beating Io is like Indy Hartwell beating Mayu, something like that. That's how he feels about it. So I get that. Okay, I guess I see where you're coming from. I disagree. I think Naomi is great. So I don't compare her to a Tegan Knox or a freaking Indy Hartwell. But you do you. I'm making it up? I don't think so. That sounds like you. That sounds like something you would say. Pretty sure you compared her to Tegan Knox last time I was on stream. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure you said something like that. But maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. What else you guys got? Ready for Brock Lesnar? Ready for the Beast? I just don't care about him that much. Cody Rhodes champion. What's next for him? Be Drew McIntyre. It should probably be Drew. I think Drew deserves that program now. Do Drew, Cody. Do Cena, Brock now. Women is where it's the question mark, right? What happened with Tiffany? So I need a draft. You need a draft. You can do Michin, Julia, sure. But you need a draft to shake things up for the women's division. Oh yeah, I heard he's opening up. He's opening up SummerSlam. He's opening up Smackdown. Beast needs to manhandle Cena and WWE teased EO versus Stephanie for a while now. I think they want to build onto that. That match has happened twice now, though, right? Without a conclusive finish. First time, it was like a DQ. Second time, it was like a DQ. So they're saving it for something. But I think throwing EO into that match, I don't like the idea of that. I feel like they're saying she's needed for that match. I don't think she is. I think Naomi and Stephanie could be pretty fine by themselves. No need to add in EO. If Charlotte, Alexa, Roxanne keep going, Roxelle, keep going, they might get any. What's wrong with that feud? Why are they making an enemy out of you? What's wrong with that feud? What's wrong with that feud? He doesn't book title reigns. He doesn't book title reigns. He doesn't. I'm not wrong. I stand firm on my opinion of that. He books The Rise. Who's on the rise right now? Who's on the rise? Who? Stephanie? Not gonna beat EO. Who's on the rise right now? Naomi's getting mic time because she's entertaining on the mic. She's good on the mic, so she's fun with it. So they give her the mic. That's all it is. I mean, you want honesty or you want bullshit? The reason why EO Sky was not given the mic like Naomi, because they don't trust her on the mic. They love her in the ring. They don't love her on the mic. Naomi can cut a promo, talk out the cuff, freestyle on the mic, do improv on the mic. She gets more creative juice and more time to play on the mic because she can speak English more clearly than EO Sky. That's the reality situation. So not so much that, Naomi's title reign is being treated better, just that Naomi is hot heel who they want to give creative juice to. I wonder how Naomi is dropping the belt. Probably sometime at the earliest Survivor Series, at the earliest. I think she goes for a while. Oh man, Bianca Belair goes after Naomi instead of Tiffany. The IWC gonna lose it. In a good way or a bad way? Goes after Naomi instead of Tiffany. Could that mean Tiffany will be a champ for a long time? Because people are right now hoping that Bianca shows up and stops Tiffany. They're like, oh yeah, Bianca's gonna come back and end this whole Tiffany shit. So if she doesn't show up to take the belt off of Tiffany, Tiffany could coast because there's no one really in her crosshairs. Nobody really in line to take her on. Not Bianca Belair. Let's do a heel turn for Jade Cargill. It's the only way. She has a movie to go shoot. People want to see her reign in. They do. The IWC does, at least. She has a good reaction on the show in the arena. Pretty good reaction. But the IWC, we're done. We'll see if it actually goes down anytime soon. I'm over it, but I'm ready for something else. But we'll see how it goes. Did you see the match they are doing in the house shows leading up to Paris? No, what is it? What is the match for the house show? I don't know. I heard they're doing a Dom versus Punk match for the IWC. For the IC title? Who heard that from? Don't want this reign to end at all. The more longer it is, the more worse it is. So. They wanted this. What reign you talking about? Naomi having the belt helps keep the babyfaces from pinning each other 1v1. Right. Naomi versus Stephanie versus Io versus Asuka. It'd be one hell of a match. One hell of a match. Give you time. At the house show. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Naomi, Stephanie, Io, Asuka. Well, that keeps people. Asuka, huh? Interesting. Naomi, Stephanie, that's a feud. Asuka, Io, is that a feud? That might be reading into it too much, honestly, but that's what we're here to do. Why not? But I could see Asuka, Io for sure as a feud. What does Rhea do? Who the hell knows? Maybe they start with her, Bianca Belair. Because remember, last time I saw Bianca Belair on screen, that wasn't involving the big three. She went to the camera and said, what is it backstage? But she said, Rhea Ripley's not over because it's your fault. But Bianca Belair, I think, still wants to feud with Rhea Ripley. That's still the goal for both of them, that feud. So they could swerve it, say, okay, Bianca Belair, you were injured. So unfortunately, you missed the whole thing with Jade Cargill and you missed it. Okay, you can't do the big three thing. Now we do Rhea Ripley, Bianca, long-term build. Possible. Then Rhea Ripley, Smackdown. I do think they need to split Rhea Ripley and Io. That needs to happen. That split needs to happen. Does she need to go to SmackDown? Here's the thing. Raw is the A show. Does he put Rhea Ripley on the B show? I don't think so. Marigold for what, Io? That'd be a mistake. Julia is also defending her title on the house show. Opponent to be okay, that's good for her. Good reps for her. Probably Michin on the house show circuit, maybe. Asuka should have come to SmackDown to be real. I don't know why she returned on Raw. Boogie Warriors. Maybe, I don't know. Beach show life support, yeah. SmackDown's kind of rough. They think John Cena and Brock can carry it, but the men's division in the tag is great. Tag division for men is great. Mid card for the men is solid with Solo. I like Solo Sikoa as a character. Just the women is tough. The women's bad for SmackDown. That's about it. Cody's not. That's true. He's not on the A show. But that changed with the draft. The USA Network is paying a pretty penny. Not chump change over there for USA Network. So they have to have Cody. But I think Seth Rollins screams Raw to me. I think he screams Raw. So I think Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman will stay on Raw for most likely. I think, but we'll see. SmackDown title picture hasn't been good since it had Charlotte, Io, and Bianca Belair. And Asuka, yeah, that was a very good spot at the time. That was the time where it was stronger for SmackDown, right? It was Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka, Io. Like Sari as a heel so far? I think it's a strong choice for Sari. Weird seeing her get booed, but it's fun. I think I like it. People were crying about 2023 SmackDown. Yeah, they were crying about that as well. They were. See, you had it good, folks. You had it good. Now it's rough. Will Bianca Belair come tonight? Final call? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna say no. for Bianca Belair. We're backstage at SummerSlam, having a good old time with Montez. But will she show up tonight? I don't think so. Hopefully, but I don't think so. How the fuck did Io survive Charlotte Flair politicking in 2023? Charlotte does not politic. She's not politic. Charlotte Flair does not do that kind of stuff. That's not true. That's why. Every single week, there were think pieces about Charlotte Flair and Shotzi. And Bianca Belair standing tall. We ain't gonna do this. Charlotte Shotzi, or is it Charlotte and Shotzi? All right, folks. Unless you have any other questions, that's gonna be it for the stream. I think SmackDown tonight is looking kind of rough. Looking rough, but we'll see. Maybe I'm not being fair to SmackDown. Let's see. Io survived because of Bayley. You mean when she was champion in 20? Yeah, sure, yeah. Probably what happened. But again, Charlotte Flair's not bootlegging. That's a bootlicking? She's not politicking backstage to win titles. I don't believe that. John Cena appears after Brock Lesnar shocking attack. Doing a full-on babyface John Cena. See Motor City against Tala Tonga and JC Mateo. Blah. Don't really care about that, honestly. Sorry to tell you the truth. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Hopefully Drew interrupts him. Yeah, well, a week show, but we'll see how it goes. All right, folks. That's it for the stream. Do me a favor. Hit like. Road Dogg is dog shit. I agree. His booking's not great. Hit like. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Enjoy SmackDown. Talk to you this weekend. Peace.